So thank you for being on this call today with us, Princess. We know that you have a abundance of information to share with us today that is going to be so helpful in upgrading the quality of our health and our wellness. And I just want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I am very excited, and I hope that the information that I share with you and your listeners today, they find to be very helpful.
Absolutely. I am positive that it will. So let's just start from the beginning. Tell me about your journey and what led you to doing the work that you're doing now as a massage therapist.
When people ask that question, I kind of laugh at it because it's almost like the $1 million question. Because if you had asked me 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, would I be a massage therapist or did I see that in my future? The answer would well, it wouldn't be almost, it would certainly be no. I was in college and I was actually in school working towards medicine to be a doctor. I was in college. I came home for a while. I ended up working at a hospital working with children. And so where we would park, um, as I would leave my building to catch the shuttle to go to the parking space on campus to pick up my car, there was always like a little box that had like an employment guide in there. And on the front of the employment guide, which always faced out to the readers, it had an ad about going to school for massage therapy. And so, I looked at this box, I know, for a year. A year before I even really entertained it. And then one day I just decided to pick up the employment guide, call the school, and I enrolled in This Is What We Have. And then, what I think 3 years ago, pretty much the same thing happened with nutrition school. I had thought about doing something else just to expand my practice with massage therapy that would go hand in hand. And I had reviewed a couple of schools, including the school I chose to attend. Thought about it, kind of put it to the side, wasn't ready. And then 3 years ago, I picked all the information back up, chose a school, and now here I am as a massage therapist as well as a health coach.
Wow. So that is a pretty significant shift in your career track going from studying medicine, which is kind of on the western side of things, right? And going
Yes.
into massage therapy and nutrition. So what do you think was going on or happening at that point in your life that actually made you make that kind of shift? Because I mean, to be on a track towards getting a medical degree and becoming a doctor, it's totally so different from what you're doing now. What do you think occurred at that time that made you want to make that shift?
I'm really not sure if it was just anything in particular. I just kind of got into I'm not sure if I want to be a doctor anymore. Um, and even now, today, if I decide to go back to medical school and do it all over, I probably wouldn't even be a traditional MD. I would probably go back and be an osteopath, which kind of brings in traditional medicine as well as this nutrition and massage and the holistic aspect. But I don't think it was really one thing. I don't know if it was divine intervention or, the cosmos saying, hey, this is really not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be doing something else. But I know I looked at that box for a long time before I entertained it. I looked at it and every time I looked at it, I was like, wow, massage therapists, they can make so much, money, and this looks like a cool job and I can go work on cruise ships. But it took me almost a year though, even with those positive thoughts, it still took me almost a year before I even made a phone call to even inquire about it.
Wow, wow. And so who do you work with rather? Who do you work with within your massage therapy practice? What type of people do you see and what type of issues do you see come up as a massage therapist who has a medical background?
I see
Cuz
everything.
most massage therapists don't have a medical background like that, do they?
As far as actual massage training, yes, the training is very similar across the board. Given that one school may do a little more of Eastern medicine, which would be more of the shiatsu, the acupuncture type things, ashiatsu, and or one school may focus more on sports massage or deep tissue, but in general, the overall basic knowledge is the same or very similar.
Okay.
But as a massage therapist, I've seen everything that you could imagine. I've seen all age groups. My youngest client was about 9 years old.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and her mom just kind of wanted her mom was really into massages, and she just thought it was something great for her daughter to start to get into. I've seen someone as young as 3 get a massage, and that was just more because mom and dad would come get a couples massage, and so she wanted one too. But I mean, I've seen teenagers, whether they come in because that's like the new trend, or whether they're there for sports. I've worked with middle-aged people. I've worked with old people. I've worked with people with cancer. I've worked with people with amputations. I work with people who just want to relax. People who really need some good deep tissue, some really some muscle release. So, and also I actually received certification to teach infant massage. So in a sense, I've actually massaged babies as well.
Wow. Let's talk a little about that because I'm finding that very, very interesting. What would be the purpose of having or giving a infant a massage?
The purpose really, I mean, it's everything you can imagine for a parent or a caregiver. It's a bonding experience. Um, for especially for say a father, if the mother is breastfeeding, she is always engaged in close contact with the infant. The father can receive a similar experience. For the baby, it helps them with the good touch, bad touch. It also helps with their motor skills. And then overall, babies are different than adults when it comes to massage. Adults have things that we call contraindications, which would kind of warrant maybe this is not a good time to get a massage. With babies, almost everything warrants a massage. Whether they have diarrhea, constipation, they're teething. Pretty much anything that goes on with the baby could warrant some type or some form of massage.
Wow. So, can you talk a little about exactly the benefits of having a massage, not just for pleasure or the simple state of relaxation, but how is it beneficial for people who are dealing with health challenges and medical issues?
Sure, and I'm actually glad that you phrased it that way because a big misconception is that massage is not affordable. Massage is, you know, a lot of people view it as being just a luxury. Like rich people go get massages, or I just go get a massage because I just want one. But massaging um, offers various medical benefits. It gives you muscle relief. If you have tired, sore muscles, it can help with that in assisting the healing process with that. It can relieve stress. It can bring down blood pressure. Um, it also helps secrete happy hormones. So, if you're sad and blue, you get a massage. It's not a 100% guarantee that you're going to dance when you get off the tables, but it does help secrete happy hormones, which, is positive. And then in general, massages helps create a healing atmosphere within the body, whether it's just from the touch from your therapist or the actual, healing that's going on within your body. You're flushing out toxins. You're promoting blood circulation. So all of that kind of stuff helps the body takes care of itself.
Wow. That is amazing because even for me, being in the health and wellness field, I never really truly understood the true benefits of massage therapy because that's really what I've always heard the term phrased as massage therapy. And growing up, before getting into this industry, I've just known it like everyone else. It's a benefit that people do just as a way of relaxing, or it's kind of one of those things where, you go to the spa and you feel like, oh, well, I'm just doing this because it's a luxury.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I got into the health and wellness field that I started to understand it's more than just a luxury, and it's actually something that can benefit a lot of people. And just speaking on my own experience of having been there when dealing with the health challenge, being a woman who has dealt with fibroids, um, I never even thought about massage therapy as a way to use as something that could benefit me because I was in a lot of pain dealing
Mhm.
with that. And so how could massage therapy have benefited me at that time that I was dealing with that sort of pain going through fibroids? How do you think massage therapy would have been able to help?
It could have through sensory integration, just from the touch, just from the chemical response that your body would give from the massage. It may not have eliminated or completely erased the pain, but it could have decreased your pain just because that is the response your body would have given from the touch. When you are massaged, because usually most people, when they think of massage, they think it's either a luxury or they're going to the physical therapist office and they're like getting really beat up because they had an injury and the therapist is really getting in there. But when you go for a massage, you can actually get a combination of both, where it's very beneficial to you as the client. So you have the very soothing touches, the very relaxing touches. And of course, if you have some muscle knots or some issues, the therapist can go a little deeper and try to release that. But the chemical response that your body gives, I mean, it could have, easily decreased your pain, stress level. It would reduce your stress level because when you're not feeling well, when you're in pain, and especially if you're in pain and you know the cause, but it's really nothing you can do about it, you stay stressed out about it. So that would have reduced your stress some, that would reduce your actual pain. And all in all, you probably just would have felt better, getting up. If you were actively in pain with, the fibroid issues, um, the abdominal area probably would have been avoided because that could be considered a contraindication. But the rest of your body would have taken care of that, as far as how you would have felt afterwards.
Mm, wow. That really flows right into the next question that I had for you about what role does massage therapy play in women's health? And a lot of what we as women deal with is the pain and the stress of being ill. Not just the physical pain, but the emotional and the mental stress of being sickly, right? Or having to deal with an issue, especially when it's an issue of the reproductive system.
Right. I have worked with a lot of female clients who were pregnant, and so they go through a lot. I mean, even though their issue, is not really considered to be one of an illness, but 7, 8, 9 months along, they're very uncomfortable. There's a lot of discomfort going on with the joints, with swelling, and so with massage, when I work with clients, whom are pregnant, I see that they get a lot of relief. Their hips, we take pressure off the hips and just kind of work that out. We help a little bit with the swelling that's in their feet, help with their back, release things. So besides that, they actually, some of them will say, I haven't slept, in 3 or 4 weeks well because I can't sleep, I can't get comfortable, or if I stay on my side too long, it hurts, or, so um, massage also promotes sleeping. So, a lot of times they'll be in session and they will sleep. And so they wake up well rested, revived, invigorated. Their pains are not as much anymore. As far as with women, say, who has menstrual issues, most people just kind of deal with it on a day to day. It's like, okay, my period comes and I'm dying in a week or so, I'll be fine. But massage helps with that as well. It can help with, if you get an abdominal massage, it could actually help with menstrual cramping. So massage is more than just the fluff and buff luxury thing, and it's also more than just going into the PT office and getting beat up, because you need to work out an injury.
So this is something that, especially for women, should really be considered as part of their wellness plan, you would say.
Yes, I mean, I would recommend it. Not even, on the strength of that I am a massage therapist. I would recommend it just from how my clients respond when they get off the table. Some of them, they're like, especially the pregnant clients that I've had, they're like, oh, my hips hurt so bad, my back hurts so bad, my legs hurt so bad, I haven't been able to sleep. And then when they get off the table, they're well rested, they're not in as much discomfort or pain, and they feel a lot better than they had before. So just seeing how the end result, of how people actually come out of the massage room feeling, 10, 20 times, 100 times better than when they came in. That speaks volumes.
Wow. I really, really appreciate having you on this call today. I've never really connected with anyone that really quite explained the benefits of massage therapy. And I'm telling you, if I knew the benefits of massage therapy at the time that I was dealing with fibroids, because basically everything that you described about when a woman is dealing with her cycle and the discomfort, not just only about pregnant women, but the health issues that women go through in general. I mean, when you're dealing with things like hormone imbalances and fibroids, something like endometriosis, just expand that pain of what a normal menstrual cramp would be 20
Hmm.
times over. And so I am pretty sure that if I would have had massage therapy worked into my wellness plan, that it probably would have alleviated a lot of the pain that I went through. Because like you mentioned about the pregnant women who can't sleep through the night because they can't lay on their hips, or it was similar for me when I went through fibroids. Um, Having the fibroids issue of not being able to sleep through the night because the pain was just unbearable. I was back and forth, up and down the in and out of the bed, back and forth to the bathroom, and it was horrid. I was exhausted. I was frazzled. I just felt like I was the most moodiest person you could ever imagine, and I'm always happy. People are always like, are you always this happy? And I'm like, yes. But during that time that I dealt with fibroids, it was just like I turned into a totally different person. I didn't want to be around anyone. I would cancel events that I had with friends, or if I wanted to attend an activity, because when that time of the month came, it was like I could be nowhere but my house. I mean, it was so bad that at the time I was in corporate America when I was dealing with this. I was working for a large, well known telecommunications company. And I would actually take vacation days around the time of my period just so I can stay home and not have to deal with one, the pain, two, the possible embarrassment of having an accident. So
Wow.
all of that put absolute stress on me that now, looking back in hindsight, I'm saying to myself, if I had a few massage therapy sessions, I probably would have been much better, well off, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Because let me tell you, the mental and emotional stress that I went through, it was much more than the pain I had to deal with physically.
And I can imagine. Well, for one, a lot of people usually when you hear things like uterus, cervix, all those types of things, you never really associate those with muscles. And the uterus performs contractions, and that's usually where the cramping comes in and the craziness. So from the physical aspect, even though a massage therapist is not going to massage your uterus or anything like that, but they can, massage the abdomen, if it warrants it. They can massage the abdomen, it kind of loosen up muscles in that area, because one thing that happens when muscles are firing off, when one starts to fire off, another fires off. When one tightens, another will tighten, just as a compensation. Your body is trying to take care of itself, and sometimes it can't. So from the physical aspect, that's where massage could help, from the back pains, sleeping. If anything, you would at least have a peace of mind when you left out of there, and would be able to get a decent night's sleep, because chemicals would have been released and stress would have been, taken down a notch or two, and you at least would have had a decent night's sleep. So physically, muscles would have been worked on, stress levels would have been decreased, and then even emotionally, it's not unheard of. I don't want to scare your listeners, but it's not unheard of for people to have emotional releases on the table. And that's one of the things that massage can do with releasing all the toxins in the body and decreasing the stress levels. Sometimes the body responds, with some type of emotional release, whether it's crying, whether it's laughing. And that's another mechanism that the body uses to kind of heal itself.
Wow. This is such fabulous information. And everything, because I know I keep bringing it back to fibroids, but because that's my niche, that's the target market of women that I work with, because one, I went through it and I saw just how much there was lack of support within the medical community. And I'm not speaking against the medical community. I think that they have a place, but I also feel that for women who are going through these health issues, that there has to be more support, because I felt totally lost and totally alone. And thank God I'm the type of person to take matters into my own hands. And so what happened is, because I wasn't happy with what the doctors were sharing about a resolution for my problem, I decided to go seek out information and research for myself what other alternatives there were for me to incorporate, or at least try, before actually taking the surgical route or having to be put on medication for the rest of my life. And with that, I came to understand about what actually is linked to fibroids. And the biggest contribution and the biggest link that I found in my research that has been linked to fibroids is stress. The number
Mm-hmm.
one factor is stress. And we know that women today deal with a lot of stress, and particularly women of color. They have statistics that show women of color, African American women, are more likely, actually 3 times more likely, to develop fibroids than women of any other culture. And I believe a lot of it has to do with the emotional and the mental stress that we as women of color endure on a daily basis, not just within our families, but just within society, within the jobs. I mean, look at it. We're the most powerful people on this planet, but yet and still, being a woman works so much against us to where it can be so stressful, right? I mean, isn't that ironic?
Yes,
The most
it
powerful
is.
beings on the planet, and that's actually working against us in this society. And I believe that women out there who are dealing with issues of the womb, who are dealing with fibroids and uh, endometriosis, cysts, all of these things, if they can start to understand on a deeper level more about what's going on with them than just the physical aspect, that it will help them to actually be on that self-healing journey of learning how to heal themselves and not necessarily have to rely 100% on Western medicine or surgeries, because those things ultimately are not a complete fix. They may fix
Exactly.
the problem for that moment for a certain period of time. But like my doctor would tell me, this is no guarantee. I mean, I had to have the surgery eventually. Yes, I wind up having to have what's called a myomectomy. But, and I believe that that was the route that I personally had to go through. And it was a journey that I'm actually glad, because to me, that was kind of like my start over. But I didn't want surgery to be my first and only option. And so this is why I have you here today interviewing you, so that I can share the tools that are available with my audience to let them know these are the tools that you can have in place to be able to help bring your body back into balance. It doesn't necessarily always have to be from the perspective of taking a prescription or having surgery. Sometimes that's necessary, yes. But is that always the first point of action that you want to take? You want to look at your alternatives, and massage therapy is one of those things that can be a great alternative to help balance the body.
And to kind of add on to that, there are a lot of different there's a lot of different alternatives other than traditional medicine. Typically we get stuck on the doctor said we have to take this and have to do that, and a lot of times, especially people of color, will not research and do their own individual um, research and processing and studying. We just kind of like, oh, the doctor said, and it is what it is type deal. But besides massage, there's acupuncture, chiropractics. There's a lot of different alternatives for things that we suffer and we go through that they have pretty good success rates, and they're not necessarily um, medicine or chemically based. And so, like I tell a lot of my clients all the time, especially my clients of color, we spend time, it's not expensive. The money that we spend to get hair done, nails done, we can easily put a little bit of that to the side and get a massage once a month, every 2 months. You don't necessarily have to make it an every week thing, because definitely most people can't afford that, but you can still put a little bit to the side and for some maintenance, and just get it every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. There's a lot of massage companies out there now that have like membership programs. You join up, and you get massages at reduced rates. You pay every month. So there's opportunities, and there's ways that you can fit it into your budget for maintenance and self care. So I always try to stress that to my clients, especially to my clients of color, because sometimes we kind of get set in that mind that this is not for us. This is not, this is nice, but I can't do this every month, or I can't do this every week. And really, you can. You just put a little to the side, and you can do that, because it is very beneficial. And massage is very beneficial to people, mentally, physically, emotionally. So, the outcome could be very positive, and it can also reduce some of those pills that you may have to take, because, there's no other fix to whatever condition that you have.
And I'm so glad that you brought that up, Princess, about being able to make an investment in yourself, because ultimately that's what it's all about. And that's what I teach with what I do as a holistic health coach, is not only teaching women how to balance their bodies, but just on the level of how do you get more self-care into your life? How do you get more joy into your life? How do you feel great about waking up every day? And I'm pretty sure since, learning about massage, I have had several. And I know that when I get up from the table, there doesn't really have to be anything wrong with me. I'm serious. It's not that I went to the massage therapist for anything particularly wrong with me. I just felt like, you know what? I've been working myself to death. I haven't been paying attention to self-care, and this is a way of treating myself. That's when the treating comes in, right? That's when the luxury comes in. This is a way of me
Yes.
treating myself, but I also know in treating myself, it's going to be beneficial on a very holistic level, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually as well. And so
Mhm.
I'm always willing to make that investment for something that is going to be beneficial, because many times women are the caregivers for so many people in our lives, our children. And listen to me, I'm saying our children. I don't have children, but
You did
I have a
fine.
goddaughter who's absolutely phenomenal. She's the cutest thing in the world. But children, our significant others, may it be a boyfriend, our wives, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, we care for so many different people in our lives that we don't take the time to really think about who's caring for us. And you may
Exactly.
have those people who are caring from you, but on the level of self care, it could never equate to being the same. And so, like Princess shared, I encourage all of you who are listening to this, if you have never experienced a massage before, that you make it a point to put it down on your to do list. As a matter of fact, I won't even say to do list. Make a bucket list for this year of things
Mhm.
that you would like to do that is just totally outside of your realm of thinking, and make sure that massage therapy is one of those things. And especially if you're a woman on this call who is dealing with hormone imbalances, fibroids, endometriosis, cysts, uterine cancer, all of the things that affect your reproductive power center, that you especially look into how massage therapy can help to alleviate a lot of the issues that you're going through, right? And make the investment. Take the time to take a little money and set it aside. Because you know what I've learned, Princess? We invest in the things that we find value in.
Mhm.
And if you find value in your health, you will want to invest more into it, right? We find
Right.
value a lot of times. And I am speaking a lot to women of color. I'm not trying to be funny. I am speaking a lot to women of color because we don't get enough support in this area. We don't have enough people telling us, yes, your beauty on the outside may matter, but how you feel on the inside matters just as much, because how you feel on the inside radiates to beauty on the outside. And
And
so
that's what I share with my
if
clients
you're
too.
feeling like crap on the inside and your body is just all unbalanced and it's expending so much energy trying to find its way back to being centered, you're fatigued, you're looking haggard, your skin is sallow looking, you just feel, and let me tell you, I've been there, so I know how that feels. You do not feel sexy. Don't even, for the men out there who may have women who are at home, you have to understand what they're going through. You have to understand how they're feeling. No, they are not in the mood to have sex. They are not in the mood to look sexy. They are not in the mood because they're going through so much on so many different levels. And so, if you're a guy listening to this recording, how you can help the woman in your life is treat her to a massage. Go with her, engage with her on her journey of wellness.
And there are things called couples massages, so you can actually go in and share the experience together. You don't have to come out and hear about, oh, my massage was this, my massage was that. You actually can schedule a massage together as a couple, and you will be in the same room, and you will have, separate therapists, but you will receive your massages at the same time. And I find that a lot of couples that do that, usually the guy is like, I didn't want to come here. I didn't want to do this. And I mean, but yet when he leaves, he's always like the first one ready to rebook, another session. So that is a very good bonding experience, and it's very therapeutic, to the man as well. And I always say, when I address issues like this, we always, take time to make sure we look good on the outside, but we need to start making sure that we feel good on the inside.
Exactly. I certainly agree. Well, I definitely enjoyed this conversation today. I mean, it means so much to me, and I know that it probably is going to be so helpful and beneficial to someone out there who's listening who may be going through some of the challenges that we covered today. And I would just like to know if you have any last words of advice that you would like to offer to our listeners.
Sure. Again, looking good on the outside is very important, but you need to also feel good on the inside, and just when you can, just try to indulge in something a little different. Also, research and investigate, and you will find different things. Of course, going to the doctor is great. We need them, have to have them. But also, take time to look into different things like massage, acupuncture, chiropractic care, because those things can also offer relief and comfort. Just give you a different perspective. And massage is not all about just being a luxury of fluff and buff and for the rich and famous. It's pretty affordable for anyone who would like to get one. And you can actually put it, as a request to get a gift certificate. You can always do that. And that's just something that you should invest in. Especially, for a woman who is taking care of so many people. Sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves, and so we really need to invest in that, because if we're down, then pretty much the whole operation it comes to a halt until we're back up and running again.
Well, you know what that saying is: when a woman is not happy, no one is happy, right? So that's so true. We are the center of life. We are the center of everything that happens. And if we're not straight, the world is not straight, because they look towards us for the support, for the nurturing, for the guidance. And so that's the reason why I'm just so adamant about women taking more time to implement self-care into their life, because I know that once women can feel great and they feel centered and balanced, they can then share that with the people around them, and that actually creates kind of a ripple effect to it radiates out to the world, and people start to feel supported. They start to feel nurtured because the woman is centered, right?
Exactly. So,
All starts and
massage is
begins with the
very
woman.
beneficial. So, if you ever get a chance to get one, don't refuse it. Don't turn it down. Even a chair massage can give you some benefit of relief.
Absolutely. And just before we end, there was something else that I wanted to bring some clarity on when you mentioned about being able to teach other people how to do massages. So basically, you can teach a mom how to give her newborn or her infant child a massage in a way that it's very healthful and beneficial for that infant. Is that what you're saying, or were you saying
Yes.
you give the
hmm
massage to infants?
No, no, no. Now I have taught in session couples to massage each other, which is totally different than teaching infant massage. With infant massage, I wouldn't massage the baby, although I like little babies and stuff, but I would instruct the caregiver, be it the parent or, an actual caregiver, how to massage the baby. So we would go through
Wow.
the motions together, and I would have, a doll, and I would show the different techniques and allow the parents to practice with their child. So I actually teach other people how to massage their baby.
Wow. So, and the reason why I wanted to go back to that is because when you brought up massage therapy being very affordable, that's another route that one could take, especially if they have a family, is paying to go learn from a person like yourself how to give massage in a therapeutic way to their family, and make
Hmm.
that a family ritual. Make that a time where you spend together bonding with each other, instead of, you being here and the child is on some sort of technology gadget or computer, and everyone is just disconnected from each other. This is a way to bring the family closer together by incorporating massages for one another. So even going just to learn how to do a massage so that you can start to do them for your family is even a beneficial investment.
It is, and I've when I was studying to become certified to do this, I read over a lot of I don't want to call them studies, but a lot of informational material where they just kind of highlight the benefits of a family massaging. And they there were several stories where the child would start off getting a massage as an infant, and you know 5 years later the child is now still asking, can I get my massage today? Can we massage, can we bond? I've read where infants would get a massage over a period of time, and then after maybe a couple of months in, the the baby would be fussy, and one of the parents would pop the top on the product that they used to massage the baby with, and the baby would smell it and instantly calm down because they knew that their massage was coming. So massage, it does a lot as far as bonding. It does a lot for stress relief for parents, caregivers, children, adults, whatever's going on. If anything, if you can get your stress levels down, a lot of time the pain that you feel will kind of dissipate and just kind of either calm down or entirely go away. Because usually stress is a culprit of pain, or they kind of go hand in hand.
Wow. Well, I know that we are running out of time here. There's so much more that I know that you have to share. I would love to do this again. And I know we already said last words, but this is the last time that we're going to have it. I really appreciate you being on and sharing your wisdom and your knowledge with us to help us as women create a better life through better health and better wellness, and create the radiance that we deserve and know that we can have. So I really appreciate you for being here on the show today, and I
Thanks for
look
having me.
forward to having you on again. And just share with us, if people wanted to connect with you or contact you to get more information, where can they reach you at?
Sure. Okay, so my website is currently a little long in the address, so I will give that and spell that out for you. But you can reach me at www.princess, Princess, Jeffers, Jeff, as in Frank, ERS as in Sam, dot Webley, WEEBLY .com. And if you're on Twitter, which and if you go to my website, you'll see all of my Facebook pages that I have that are health related. And you can also follow me on Twitter, you can tweet me, and I'll give you out the same information if you ever want to visit the site as well. And my handle on Twitter is ask _princess, PRINCESS. And so if you tweet me and you tell me that you heard me on today's podcast, then I can give you all the information that you need. So you can either visit me at www.princessjeffers.webley.com, or you can tweet me at ask_princess on Twitter.
That is fantastic. And what I am going to do is actually create a page with those links on it so that people can access you from my information as well if they can't necessarily get what you shared with them in the recording. So don't worry if you didn't get to write this down. You don't have to scrap for paper. This is a call that you will get to have access to after today. And I will also have a page where you can access all of the guest speakers and their information that we have. So again, Princess, I thank you for being with us today and the wonderful information that you shared. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And this is the end of our show for today. I hope that you stay well and I hope that you stay whole.
Thank you.
God bless.